under arrest and we were able to file case po against sa kanya. Violation ng Section 7, RA 12022. Tama po kayo. Kami po'y kasama na pero nakapag-file na po na tayo ng kaso. Doon po sa occupant at the time when the law was served.
Bodeguero.
Tama po yun, Mr. Chair.
So kulang pa.
Kaya po, meron pa po kaming ginawa.
Okay.
From July 3, kinailangan po namin ng ilang araw. For one, kailangan po namin makakuha sa Security and Exchange Commission of a certified list po ng owners at kasama po yung beneficial owner. Not only are the one in the incorporation po ng Prosenate, but yung beneficial. It took us roughly 2 weeks po for that, Mr. Chair. So isa po yun sa mga nakapag-delay. But eventually, we're able to petition the Court of Tax Appeal for a seizure order, which was granted. August 4 po ito. So we're able to do their inventory. And right now, nakalagay na po yung mga smuggled product in FTI, in Taguig. Kasama po yan sa proseso. And i-report lamang po namin sa inyo, ang Philippine Coast Guard po, sa tulong ng ating pong Department of Justice and the Council, was able to file case na po, referral na po ito. Ibig sabihin, nasa DOJ na po for assessment po nila kung papasok po dun sa DC-16, which is the certainty of conviction. Nasa kanila na po ito, at noon pong August 28, Your Honor. So may kaso na po for the 5 beneficial owner. 3 po doon ng Filipino citizen, 2 po doon ng Chinese. Meron na po tayong, hindi ko na lamang po i-reveal, pero meron na po tayong tracking na ginagawa doon sa 5 na po yan. And soon we will file a lookout order po para hindi naman po sila makatakas sa kanilang pananagutan sa batas. Yan po ay hindi lang po Coast Guard, tulong din po siyempre ang NBI, ang DOJ, and ang PNP as well. It's a concerted effort po, and kagaya nga ng sabi ng Bureau of Customs, kung kinakailangan niyo po, sir, ng condition na tao, if I may be allowed to address them, ang Philippine Coast Guard po, sir, because of our mandate to stop, to board, to inspect all foreign and local vessels po coming into the country, including fishing vessels po, we will assist you po, sir, para po ma-address po natin to economic sabotage. Maraming salamat po,
Mr.
Mr.
Chair.
Chair.
Yes,
Nabanggit kasi ng Coast Guard ang DOJ. DOJ, under the new law, there's a special team of prosecutors na hawak ang mga kaso sa smuggling. Now, kasi ibabalik ko dun sa mga nakaraan, 217 cases were filed at halos lahat na dismiss. Paano nyo ba pinipili itong mga bagong prosecutor na mag-handle ng mga smuggling cases? Anong klaseng training meron sila? Meron ba tayong ginagawang investigation tungkol sa kanilang credibility na sila ba okay at wala silang mga vested interest, wala silang mga owners? Kasi ito, Mr. Chair, totoo to. Marami kasi, not all, meron dyan ibang taga-DOJ. Later on, dahil sa kahawak nila ng kaso sa smuggling, later on, nagiging partner na sila ng mga broker, aka smugglers.
yes.
So how do we screen these people? At what kind of training do they have before they were assigned to the task or become a member of this task force para sa anti-smuggling?
And as you answer the question, may you also update us, ano nang nangyari after the Coast Guard passed the cases to you in the DOJ? Ano na nangyari? Go ahead. Attorney, fiscal, prosecutor.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I am City Prosecutor Robert Ong.
Okay, go ahead, City Prosecutor Ong.
Mr. Chair, as regards the list or the team of prosecutors, each prosecutor, Mr. Chair, was chosen by our Prosecutor General. They were previously members or currently members also of the BOC Smuggling Task Force. So they are well-trained, very much equipped as regards importation documents. And as such, they were chosen by our PG, Richard Anthony Padulyon, with the conformity of our good Secretary of Justice, Jesus Crispin Remulla, Your Honor. As regards, Mr. Chair, the second question, the Paco case, Mr. Chair, we indeed confirmed that we received a copy of the complaint or the referral. However, Your Honors, there are still lacking documents that we, of course, cannot divulge to this honorable committee today because of confidentiality that the respondents might be able to, might get informed through this committee, Your Honor. So we are definitely coordinating and have talked with PCG for the proper rectification of those documents.
Okay. With respect to the Subic smuggling case of about 318 million, which Commissioner has already said, they're now ready to turn over or na-turn over na ba sa inyo? Hindi pa?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Mr. Chair, i-clarify ko pa. I made a mistake to clarify. Hindi po pa namin na turnover. So with the Subic 57 containers, by this week matatapos na po yung inspection, and September 5 nakaschedule na po yung internal hearing with the Port Legal Division, and then after which it will be turned over to the legal services po sa central office, give or take another week, so we're talking of 2 weeks.
Ang Coast Guard sinabi may hold departure order or, di ba, na tinimbrehan na ang DOJ, is that right?
Part po ng gagawin po namin after the case has been referred. Requirement po kasi yung lookout order, Mr. Chair.
Lookout order. Can you do the same? Because,
Pwede naman, no?
let's be, di ba, ang katotohanan yan, kung non-bailable yan, ikukulong mo yung mga inimbestigahan mo, hindi ka kaagad makasampa ng kaso, wala pang warrant of arrest, mag-i-escapo na lahat yan.
Okay.
So wala nang saysay yung nagpapasahan tayo ng dokumento pagka hindi mabilis. I hope you understand. No? I mean, ang realidad, non-bailable yan eh. Pag hindi tayo kumilos, alam nilang under investigation sila. Ano na mangyayari sa atin? So what are the interventions necessary para ma-implement naman na may makulong naman na smuggler? Maawa naman kayo sa mga magsasaka. Umaasa sa ating lahat na gawin yung trabaho natin. Hindi ba? At syempre, yung ating mamimili. Please, go ahead. I hope you understand.
Singit lang ako.
Yes, before you continue, go ahead.
Papalikan ko yung DOJ. Doon sa mga kaso na na-file ng BOC sa DOJ, smuggling, na mga na-dismiss, pwede bang paki-review bakit na-dismiss yun? At paki-review na rin kung sino-sino itong mga prosecutor na nag-handle ng kaso. Silipin din natin, baka naman sila ay meron ng sariling brokerage o meron silang mga kaibigan na nilagay nila na para mag-manage ng brokerage na yun. And then, of course, we can expect na left and right magpapa-dismiss sila ng mga kaso. Again, going back, please give us the records of those cases that were dismissed and why were they dismissed and who were the prosecutors who handled those cases. Can we do that, DOJ? Can you do that?
Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Your Honors. Senior Assistant State Prosecutor Charlie Guhit for the DOJ. I have here a data for clarity of the cases involving agricultural products that was filed from 2016 to 2025, Your Honors. From 2016 to 2025, per our records of the DOJ main, just to clarify again, Your Honor, these cases are filed only in the Department of Justice main office. There are cases I would anticipate, Your Honor, filed locally, which the Department of Justice main office would not have any record because the Bureau of Customs District Office likewise files cases in the local prosecution offices. So, in the Department of Justice main office, our records disclose of smuggled agricultural product cases filed from 2016 to 2025. There were 193 in total cases filed in the Department of Justice. And out of the 193 cases, there are 127 cases dismissed in the local prosecution service alone. That comprised of 66% of the total cases filed by the Bureau of Customs in the Department of Justice. Now, for the filing in court and with dismissal, there are 43 cases filed in courts, Your Honor. And there are that comprise 22% of the cases filed by the Bureau of Customs, which are now pending in court. There are likewise 12 cases which were archived in our office after determining that the same are ripe for filing. The reason for archiving the cases is that some of the documents received by the office are not original or certified true copies. We cannot proceed in filing criminal cases in court if the prosecution does not have the copies of the original or certified true copies of the documents. And
So, ang problema, nakita ko na Mr. Chair, yung pagsasubmit ng mga taga-Bureau of Customs na nag-file ng case sa DOJ, hindi nag-submit ng original documents and true copy. Is that what you're saying?
partly, Your Honor, that would be true because some of the cases, there are original or certified true copies of the documents.
So kung ganun dapat BOC, sibakin natin yung mga taong yun dahil palagay ko sinasadya nila yun para in the end, madidismiss na yung kaso. Am I right to assume that?
Go ahead.
Essentially, as Senator Rafi, we agree essentially. This is the reason why, again, we reached out to the DOJ last week so that in the case build-up, case preparations, and then up to the filing of cases, then attending to those cases would be airtight. Then I agree, there were submittals that became the reason kung bakit na-dismiss. Tama po ang DOJ doon. In fact, isa yan sa in-identify namin, homework ng ating bagong legal team in BOC to make sure that these things will not happen na parang sadya or talagang
Yes.
humina or pinahina po yung mga
So
kaso.
pwede natin balikan yung mga taong yon sa BOC na nag-file ng mga kaso na hindi kumpleto yung dokumento, hindi original, hindi true copy, and he knows better, she knows better kung sino man yun. Kasuhan natin, sibakin kung kinakailangan masibak.
We will look into this, Mr. Senator. Of course, we will have to do what we should do.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Going back to dun sa DOJ, no? Do you expect with the Anti-Agriculture Economic Sabotage Council na magkakaroon ng mas maayos na coordination between the DOF, the BOC? I mean, assuming na ma-fully organized na, because I understand even the council is not fully organized, no? You still have to may budget kayo ng kalahating bilyon na kailangan magamit pero hindi rin nagagamit pa, no? Tama ba 'yon? I mean, with respect to that, no? Because tinitingnan natin, bakit ba ginawa yung council? Dahil nga maraming ganitong mga issue na yung improper o kulang ng coordination. So, yes, go ahead, prosecutor.
Mr. Chair, we confirm that we are currently coordinating with the Department of Finance and of course the Bureau of Customs, Your Honor. As regards the budget for the council, Mr. Chair, may kindly refer to ASEC Diaz for this.
Go ahead, Asik Diaz. Teston.
We have already submitted our work and financial plan so that the Secretariat and the Council at least will have the budget. And then the enforcement group, which are also entitled to their own budgets, have already submitted to the Department of Budget and Management. So I think on that aspect, Your Honor, we really need the support of the approving authorities for that.
Who is the approving authority?
So the DBM.
Okay, we will help you.
Thank you.
We have the hearing later. I will already ask them.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No? Okay, go ahead. Yes,
Sir, for the Department of Justice, the DOJ already mandates the close coordination of the prosecutors with the local enforcement agencies, particularly the Bureau of Customs in this case, Your Honor, because we have a circular, we call it Department Circular number 20. Because of that close coordination, Your Honor, prior to the conduct of preliminary investigation, all cases are evaluated by the Department of Justice. And in the process of evaluation, Your Honor, the quantum of proof that is required is a reasonable certainty of conviction, Your Honor. So with that, Your Honor, with that process, we try to ensure that all cases that will be docketed for preliminary investigation will have sufficient evidence for purposes of filing cases in court. And on that level, Your Honor, we already require the submission of the original or certified true copies so that in the event that the cases are docketed for preliminary investigation, the handling prosecutor will have the original or certified true copies for purposes of the conduct of PI. Prior to the issuance of Department Circular number 20, Your Honor, because of the issue of submission of original or certified true copies of the documents. The